Okay, here's a look at him in robot mode, and let's start with the positives. It looks a lot like the cartoon, but there are little things here and there that I will point out. But first, let's compare this with the animation model. So you can see they did a really nice job capturing all the details. I can't point everything out, but you know, the little square on the knee, the little detail here, the little detail, the circle L shape in the inside, the details on the chest, the 3 vents up here. So if you can, just remember that, because during my comparison I want to point out some things about the detail. So this is very cartoon accurate, which is what I like. That's my preference. But you know, I am starting to appreciate the extra detail that goes into some of the other designs, like Vans toys, which I'll point out later. But here, let's take a look at the side view, and you can see it's the same thing. They did a really nice job capturing the cartoon aesthetics, and also the back, which is close enough. That's all I'll say. I mean, it's kind of hard to get this to match the cartoon because of the way it transforms and stuff like that. So that's a look at the figure. Now let's actually take a closer look at the head, because I think this is very important, because some people don't like the head, some people don't like the head. So let's actually take a look at the head. So yeah, I'm one of those, I think I don't like the head because it just, I don't know, it seems a little too narrow going down towards the chin. But let's do this. Let's compare this with the cartoon model and our cartoon animation model, and you could see I mean, it just seems a little off to me, in my opinion. And then let's take a look at the side. I think they did a nice job sculpting the side. And then see how much of the back we could get, but the back. So it is a nice sculpt. It's just yeah, some things are a little off in my opinion. So let's do this. Let's go over some of the features and articulation here. So the head is like on this double hinge extending piece. So yeah, you do get extra articulation if needed, which I'm telling you, in my opinion, I think this is needed, because when you're looking up at him at a bird's eye angle like this, you don't see his head. So if you extend it up like that and do the bird's eye view, you can see that makes it look really nice. So I don't know if that's why they designed it this way, but it's pointing out that's how you can pose it a little better. And let's go over some of the features here. This is a really nice feature. I really like this. You know how you can open this up to show, like, you know, his brain or something, like they did in the cartoon episode when they were reviving him. So that's really a nice, cool feature. I do like that a lot. And so the head, it can go up, down a lot. Not really, a little bit side to side, but not that much. So there's the head articulation. And then, well, before we go to the shoulders, let me point out something I don't like, which is, if you can see the top of the chest, that doesn't look very clean to me. I think Vans Toys, Magic Square, New Age did a much better job on the top. And I'm referring to all this kibble here that looks really messy. So just wanted to point that out. But again, the comparison, I want to point out, these details here are cartoon accurate, but on Fans Toys, they touched it with the little silver, which makes it look a little bit better in my opinion. But let's go over the shoulder articulation on a nice tight ratchet going forward and back. And then it can go up on friction here all the way, so you can see, and it actually can go out here on the bicep on a nice friction, and then I mean ratchet. And then here you do get bicep swivel friction, you do get friction elbow, which can go all the way up like 90 degrees, so that's really cool. And then let's take a better look at this hand. So you can see the nicely sculpted hand in the new design where it's more organic shape. And Fans Toys is a little bit more boxier, but that's an older figure. And here's the articulation. You only get 1, 2 joints. Fans Toys, you get all 3. Here you get 2. And this is kind of scary, this thumb, because it does not rotate. So you got to be careful not to snap that, and just know that it only goes up and down like that. So, but it is a nicely sculpted hand. It does have some articulation, and it does have this articulation, the wrist. So that's kind of cool, how you can extend the hand out like so. But I think that has more to do with the transformation, because you do have to rotate it when you're putting the hand inside. Okay, then let's move down, back up here. There is no waist swivel or ab crunch, which is understandable, and technically Fans Toys doesn't either. I mean, you can manipulate it so you can a little bit, but not really. It's understandable on this character. You do get a hip skirt here, so it can go out on a nice ratchet. And let's see, it can go forward also on a nice ratchet. And just minimal back because this jet pack is just a little bit too long. And then you do get thigh rotation here on friction, which is nice. And you actually can get more articulation here on the leg if you want from the hip. So that's cool. So you can do all of this. So that's nice. And then you gotta straighten it back out. These are on nice ratchets. And then let's, whoops, come down here to the knees. Nicely sculpted knees, very plain like the cartoon. But it is on a nice, tight, kind of ratchet friction thing. And this is something that does scare me, because it just, the tolerance does not sound or feel very good. I mean, you can hear all that scratchy, squeaky sound. That's not a good sound. And if you did product design, you did like jewelry design, you know that's not a good sound. You don't want to be hearing something like that. Okay, and then the feet. Well, here this is also that sound. That does not sound good. It goes up and it goes, let me show on this side, it goes up. That's about it. And you can't really get a back. That's about all the back you can get. Unless, let's see, come back up here. Unless you want to fold in the heel, but then this leg is in the way. So you don't really get much articulation unless you want to mistransform this figure by extending this foot out very tight tolerance, and then you can get the articulation. But I don't consider that foot articulation because you mistransformed his foot. So take that how you will. And then you do get an ankle rocker, but this is not good. You either get one extreme or you can break his ankle going the other way. So you don't really get a good ankle rocker, just one for like a extreme A pose, A stance pose. So I'm telling you all that just to point out that the foot articulation, yeah, not so good. So now let's come all the way back up and get a full shot of the figure again. This is kind of hard because this is a really big figure. And then he does open up right there. Some things do come on tab. Gotta squeeze those two back up. And yeah, so let's push him all the way back there so we can maybe get them all in frame. So that's the articulation. So now let's go over some of the features that you get, like the alternative faceplate. So let's get a better look here at the face. So you're gonna see me struggle because this is a really big figure. So let's do this. Let's come up a little bit and extend it, and then you have to unpeg this faceplate, which is a little difficult. Yeah. So let me see if I can get in there. It's hard, and I don't think this is a good design, but I want to point out they did do something different, which was really cool. As soon as I can get that untabbed, so you can see it's just a simple tab in, but it's very difficult. So I think Fans Toys does better with their alternate faceplates. So I don't want to put these on, but you could put in the alternative faces. And let me just put it in a little bit so you can see. So if you want, you can, let's come down here, go up a little bit. Okay. And yeah, the articulation on the legs too is not really that good in my opinion. So I'll do it this way. Yeah. So you can switch out the face piece. So again, this is a little hard untabbing it. And then let's put in the other one so you can see what that looks like. Yeah, so let's put his neck down, and then you can see what he looks like here. So yeah, you gotta excuse me because this figure is really big. Hard to get it all in camera. So there's what that looks like. And it's it's really hard getting this untabbed. So I don't think they did a good job there. But now here's the good part. They did it differently with the Jetfire mask. They should have done the same thing. This is a magnet thing. So look at this. They should have just, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to get all frustrated, but they should have just done that with the other face plates. I mean, and that's really a cool design right there. How you can just easily untab it and tab it in. So now that we've got Jetfire's face here, let's do this. How do we get all this and let's split this so we can get the Jetfire look here. So you lift this up, extend it, and then you can tab that back in. Oh boy, and then this little feature here, you could push it in on the white part and then extend it where you can pull this out, this little peg hole, and oh, this is so difficult because it's so huge. Then you can tab this gun from this hand, which does tab in, just a typical masterpiece style. And then this little peg here, you could just tab it in on the top. Let's see, trying to make sure I get everything on camera here, and then you could tab it in, and now you got this the Robotag Jetfire look, if whatever you want to call it. So that's just, this is not my thing, but it's a feature that you get with the figure that's, I guess, kind of cool, nice to have. So you can see, let's come up a little bit. This is so big. So you can see, I mean, how does that look? I guess it looks cool. Now he's empty-handed though. But that's that. And let's go over this feature. If you want, you can attach these two pieces. This is cool, and this is easy to do. So you just plug that in, plug it in, and now you can make him look like he's flying. So that's kind of cool. So let's undo all of this. This is how they should have done the rest of the face plates. So let's put back his regular faceplate, which is on the pegging system. Putting it in is easy, taking it out is very difficult. So now let's get him back here, untab these frame pieces. Guess let's just leave him without his gun. Oh, this is so difficult. Well, yeah, let's put this back. So you push this top part in, and then we gotta get this all straightened up. Let's see, at least this is cool. This closes very easily. You just have to make sure you get them tabbed in. Okay. And then here are these two pegs. This goes in. For some reason it doesn't always tab in, but as I say that it did. So that worked this time. Oh, this is so hard. Just, okay. Since I'm pointing out all the issues, let's go over this one. Because when you articulate, I don't want to do this, but this part here, it easily comes unpegged, and it only works on this one pegging system. So if you can see, there's two, but it only pegs in on one, and that's not strong enough to hold this securely, because every now and then, just like there, it just comes untabbed. So just pointing out that's an issue with this figure. So that tabbing system, just letting you know, doesn't work very well. Okay, what else? What else with robot mode? I think that, well, yeah. This doesn't really matter too much to me, but but here, this nose cone piece, I mean, the tolerance again. So you have to stretch this open as much as you can, so you can just to be able to push this nose cone down. So that's another dang issue here. So this one, this is so hard to do on camera, but I'm having to spread this open, jeez, just to get that to tab in. So that's another issue there with like the tolerance is not very good. You shouldn't be having to bend and stretch things. But let's now show you the other feature. You can swap this out. I mean, I'm not a fan of this thing either, because he was never a Decepticon in my opinion. And if you want, you can also have nothing, which makes no sense to me. So I think that's all the accessories in the robot mode. See, there it is. Like I just showed you, that one little tabbing system does not work very well. So let's try it again. You have to get that to tab in, and then once you do, maybe give it a good squeeze to make sure you tab it in, which you heard, and then hopefully it stays like that. So, oh man, I'm glad I'm getting this all on film, because I think it's important to see all the flaws with the design of this figure, which I already pointed out. A lot of them has to do with the tolerance and even like the thin plastic here and there. It's very scary. So that's a look at him in robot mode. So now, final thoughts as I put in his gun. What do I think about this figure? First of all, I like the look of this figure in that this is very cartoon accurate. So that reminds me a lot of like X-Transbots. They know how to make figures look good, but their design is really bad. With X-Transbot, their engineering design is not good. The materials, the thin plastic that they use, having to bend and stretch things, causing stress on the plastic, which eventually leads to breakage. And so I mention all of that because there are some of those same issues with this figure. Like I was telling you, the centerpiece there, lifting up these side pieces, the connection joints down here. I mean, that's not so good. But again, all you have to do is look at this, and this looks great in that it looks a lot like the cartoon, which is what I like. But I'll just give you a little preview here. But when you compare this with Vans toys, this is what I wanted to point out. The difference here is, you know, these might not be cartoon accurate with, you know, painting it gray and stuff like here, but and then the details in here with the transparent red plastic, which makes it look more premium, the metallic in here. Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell you. I can see Bobby Skullface's perspective on all these details. It makes this look much nicer, no question. But this one is more cartoon accurate. This one, it's not cartoon accurate, but it looks a lot better. So that's just a preview of my comparison. So back to this, bottom line, this figure, I like it because it looks like the cartoon. That's my preference. But the design, materials, there's definitely some issues. So first thing, you know, I'm gonna have to rate this. Sorry, I'm really disappointed. I'm gonna have to rate this 7.5 because of all the issues with this figure. And now, do I recommend it? For those of you who definitely like the Hypertoon aesthetic, absolutely. And just be forewarned that you're gonna have to go through a lot of issues with this figure and be careful. But you can enjoy it. I do enjoy this figure. So that's my final thoughts on the Takata Masterpiece MP-57 Skyfire.
I'm too darn big to sneak around like this.